So everyone's talking about Caitlin Clark getting stronger in the offseason, but we already knew that. We've seen it. The visual evidence. We've heard Stephanie White talk about it. We even heard Clark talk about it with Sue Bird and Diana Taurasi. So to me, that's not the standout thing from Fever training camp so far. What stands out to me is the way that everyone has spoken about DeWanna Bonner. Of course, the veteran, WNBA legend, champion, all-star, multiple times, versatile player, can defend, has length, knows how to score, and brings leadership to the locker room. She's talked about wanting to be a voice that the other players listen to. Kelsey Mitchell said they got the best vet in the world. And then Caitlin Clark said they want to win for DeWanna Bonner. When she speaks, they listen. So just listening to what the Fever say about Bonner makes me think her impact is going to go beyond just what she does on the floor. Here's what Caitlin Clark had to say that I just referenced when it comes to DeWanna Bonner and what she has brought to the Indiana Fever basketball team. Obviously, it is a lot, but this was part of what Caitlin had to say when talking at training camp.
When DeWanna signed with the team, she said at this point in her career, she's playing for championships and obviously have championship experience with those veterans they brought in. How much did that get to add to the culture or just what it takes to win at a high level?
Yeah, I mean, DB has been tremendous. Like, she's such a selfless leader. Like, she's here to win. She says that, but she like really means it, and she leads in that example every single day. Like, we were just sitting over there talking after today, like just talking about practice and things we need to work on, things that went well, things that everybody knows we have so much talent, but at the same time, like, you got to put that together. It's not going to be like, all right, you have all these great players, you step out on the court, it's going to work. Like, it's going to take a little bit of time to figure things out, figure out how everybody works with one another. So DB's been tremendous, and obviously, not only as a leader, she's a tremendous basketball player too. She's won championships. She knows what it is. So when she speaks, everybody listens. So I think that was a piece of the thing we were missing last year. Is like we didn't really have that inside of our locker room. So just really grateful for that, and just the way she talks and she leads. Like, for me as a second-year point guard, like, I want to win for her. Like, this is the end of her career. Like, she deserves it.
I want to win for her, said Caitlin Clark. And the day before, Bonner had said, yeah, I love C, right? when talking about Clark. And Kelsey Mitchell seems to love everything that she's seeing from camp. She's been there her whole career. You forget that sometimes, because her coming out party from a casual standpoint was last year. And now they've got all these pieces to win after she re-signed. And this is what Kelsey had to say about that.
And everything is just absolutely new. It feels really good. It feels fresh. It's kind of like when you take your clothes out the dryer, kind of like fresh. It feels different, and it feels good because we have new leadership, we got new players, we got vet leadership. So I think all that combined just makes for a good atmosphere right now. It feels good.
How does that help you guys elevate even more for the players who are returning?
It makes it easier. I remember this time last year, it didn't feel good. So we have to get that in order first, for people to start playing well. It's like the domino thing. But I think once your culture is kind of established, how you guys see it now, I think it makes everything else way easier. I don't know if that makes sense, but way easier.
There you go. It made perfect sense to me, Kelsey. I totally understand and feel where you're coming from, get what you're saying. And then Kelsey Mitchell, of course, also teaming up with Caitlin Clark in a clip shared by the team from practice. They said incredible play. This looks run-of-the-mill for these two to me. Look at the line and then the finish. Now you know. Oh, that's heat, the way it drops in. I knew about the slogan, of course. I was well aware, but it hit me in the face just now. Right? Hit me in the face, just like a strong uppercut from the newly buff Caitlin Clark. So on to the strength topic. That was something Clark talked about as well. Here's what she had to say.
That photo of your arms go viral last month. How much stronger do you feel kind of coming into training?
Yeah, I mean, that was like my biggest focus in the offseason, was just trying to get stronger and really working on that. And really thankful for Sarah, our strength and conditioning coach, like put in a lot of time with me. And we were in here consistently. Like, I think that was the biggest thing for myself, is just having that consistency to be able to work on it for 6 months or whatever it was. So I certainly feel a lot stronger, and, I'm a pretty self-aware person. I knew that was going to be a huge part of it. And, it's going to help me offensively. It's going to help me defensively. It's going to help me not get as tired throughout games. So yeah, definitely one of the focus points of my off season is just getting stronger, and even through these 2 practices, like I can certainly feel it.
So there you go. Caitlin Clark talking about it herself, and her head coach also discussed that. She talked about the break that Caitlin had and how it could refresh her and everything, but she didn't hesitate to mention the work in the gym.
I think first and foremost, just the mental and physical break. It is. I don't really, admire the college players that have to come from playing a 40-plus game college season to then having to come straight into the W. It's physically grueling. It's mentally taxing. Let alone what Caitlin's had to deal with. I think it was great for her to get a break. I think it was great for her body, her mind, her soul, probably, and then it was great for her to get in the weight room. I think that was one of the first things that she noticed was just the physicality in this league is different. And so being able to address getting in the weight room, getting stronger, being able to stay on balance, better, time under tension, all of those things, core stability, all of those things. And then to be able to get in the gym and really hone in on some nuance of her game that's going to help her get to another level.
So, the coach sees it. Everybody sees it. The results are obvious. We're starting to see the glimpses of the new Fever in action out on the floor. And then you just hear what they have to say about an addition like DeWanna Bonner. Now, I want to see more from Natasha Howard, more action, but she's not, doesn't seem to be as vocal necessarily. And then Sophie Cunningham, another new player. What I've liked from her so far is I've seen them. It seems they're going to use her in a variety of ways. She even brought the ball up a few times with Clark and Mitchell spreading out, that kind of thing. And we'll get plenty more looks at the Fever team from a basketball standpoint and a game plan standpoint and what they're attempting to bring out on the court and what they might change, obviously this year and with Stephanie White offensively, the way they attack. But I just did notice the tone and effusive praise that came with DeWanna Bonner, around DeWanna Bonner. And remember when they signed DeWanna Bonner, I was like, whoa, the Fever got DeWanna Bonner because she has that kind of reputation. She has that kind of gravitas in the league. So far through the first couple days of camp, that's the number one story in my mind. Not a surprise. I mean, very predictable, I guess. But it's the thing that has stood out the most from hearing the players and the coach speak. That and the general excitement around the team, because Kelsey Mitchell said, if they put it all together, they could be unstoppable. And I've been saying that. So again, that ain't nothing new. Because if you don't know, now you know.